Good evening from InvestSharp.com. This is Randy Smotone with your Friday, October the 29th market update. On the economic front, GDP was in line at 2%. We had the quarterly employment cost index, which was up 0.4%, which was a little less than the estimate of 0.5%. Monthly consumer sentiment came in at 67.7, and the market had a pretty do-nothing day and seemed to be okay with all that data. So on deck for Monday will be the monthly U.S. personal income and outlays at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Then we're going to have the monthly construction spending as well as the monthly ISM manufacturing index, both at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. So the dollar, copper, and oil were down today. Gold and silver were up. So looking at the dollar via the ETF, there's no, I'm not seeing, here's a lot of buying. I'm not really seeing any selling here. This is kind of just a drift lower here in the dollar with no conviction as far as selling it. So the dollar actually is still holding up here. And over at the West Texas Intermediate Crude Point and Figure chart, so we are on a sell signal on crude right now with a bearish price objective of $75 a barrel. We're still stuck in this range between this 85-80 area, and I will show you the crude futures because we are in a symmetrical triangle on crude, so we are going to break one way or the other, and probably pretty soon. So I'll go over that here shortly. Let's take a look at the Dow. So Dow, the market's doing the same thing, man. We haven't moved much at all. There's been some stocks moving though. That's been a good thing, but the overall markets haven't moved much at all. So the Dow, closed at 11,118. We were up about 4.5 points here, but the Russell actually had the largest percent gain. It was up 0.33% today, and the Dow, S&P, and Nasdaq were basically all just flat. There just wasn't anything. So again, we're holding up here. There's really nothing to see. We're just still, same little magnet area around this 1185. I'll call 1185, but somewhere around there. We keep closing around there. It's like a magnet. Doesn't want to let go of it. And then the Nasdaq continues to look good and to hold up, even though we did have a little bit of a. But we've had some of these. We had this Tombstone Doji here. Okay, so we just got another one. And, maybe this is the end of the uptrend short term. Who knows? Everyone's getting so bearish into next week that it actually makes me want to be bullish next week because everyone's like, And we have a lot of data come out next week with the election, and we got the Fed meeting about hopefully we'll learn more about the quantitative easing, and of course now then we have this which they didn't tell us after the market closed, that these packages were actually I guess attempted terrorist attack, and there was a bomb, or at least the materials of making of a bomb. So I don't know. We'll see how the market reacts that Monday, but nothing's happened. So the markets will have enough time to, probably should be fine. A couple of days. It's actually a good thing they waited till it closed. So let's see. Look at gold. GLD broke out above the downtrend line yesterday. There's no volume behind this, but of course that's still going higher. There wasn't a lot of volume in the market here today. It was a down. If you looked at the SPY, the Qs, the IWM, the diamonds, they were down about 30% below average daily volume. So there was not a lot of volume here. But GLD is still looking good. Silver's looking really good. Silver is just, actually made a new high here, new 52-week high, and it's really it's got the volume starting to come back in, so it's looking really strong. Copper's caught by the 30, but it's had this big selling here. You had bid selling here, and you got volume coming in selling it again. So copper might be telling us that we are gonna have a pullback coming soon. So I don't know, we'll see. And volatility index, the VIX, didn't move much today. It was up 1.53%. That's still pretty low, but the MACD is kind of pointed up on the VIX, and it looks like we could just break and rip higher here from that, but again, that'll remain to be seen. And FXE, the euro, I'm not seeing any selling here. It's just drifting. Again, it's hanging in here, and it looks fine. It's hanging above this the uptrend line where it broke out. It's tested it. It's come back up, tested it. It has making these lower highs right here though. So, but it's also making higher lows. So actually, if you could put in a little triangle here, so it's still holding up all right. XLF. Financials, same old thing, going nowhere. It's more sideways action. Still can't get over that 15. XHB, the home builders, there hasn't been, other than right through here, there hasn't been any selling here. There's nobody doing much of anything. Everyone's just waiting. So they look fine. I mean, as far as the ETF, it's not telling me anything. SMH, we did run into resistance on the semiconductors holders trust today. Well, you got some, congestion area up here at 29.50. You ran into it. Also, if you look at the uptrend line, here where we got rejected, here we got rejected, and we're basically there again, which it looks like we're going to get rejected possibly again. So we'll see. And you could, I know I got a lot of lines drawn in here, but you could say that we're in this a rising wedge. It could be bearish, but have to break down here and head lower if it is bearish, but it could break out at the top of that wedge as well. So, all right, let's go over and take a look at the McClellan oscillator, which I don't know why, because we're going sideways and it is pretty much worthless when we don't go anywhere. When we're chopping sideways, so we're still in this neutral area. Over here is overbought, down here is oversold, so we're just still neutral. So like I said, in these situations, it's kind of just worthless right now. Let's take a look at the sectors. So 6 of the 16 sectors we follow finished in the green. The gold index had the largest percent gain for the second day in a row, up 1.53%, and the biotech index was the weakest, down 0.96%. So let's go take a quick look here at the light sweet crude oil futures. So this is a 15-day, 1-hour chart, 60-minute chart. So as you can see, and this started in October 18th, we're bouncing back and forth, and this is the 25th, and this is the 27th, and 28th, so. The MACD is so neutral, I don't know which way we're going. I mean, I don't know if we're going to break, we're going to have a 3 or 4 point move probably when we break out of this triangle on crude. So you just kind of need to keep an eye on your energy stocks. And I mean, I'm in, a couple of trades here as well on it, because there's several of the energy stocks that have some pretty good patterns right now and holding up fine. So, so definitely watch those into next week, because I mean, we could break to the downside or upside here. Don't know yet, but we are getting closer and closer to the apex of the triangle. So definitely want to watch the energy stocks, and especially ones impacted as oil moves. All right, so let's go take a look at the point and figure on a couple of charts. Of course, we don't do chart watch on, or I don't do chart watch on Friday, so I will post my weekly watch list on Sunday evening. So let's go look at the point and figures on the Dow, Nasdaq, and etc. So we're still up here. We're looking good. We got this bullish price objective, on the point and figure chart here for the Dow. So we look fine. I mean, there's just no other than copper's weakening. Semi kind of ran into some resistance. I don't know. It's really not telling us giving me a good picture yet, other than to be cautious into next week, which we've already done. Hopefully you've been taking profits off and you've reduced positions into next week. I know we've been doing that, and we still have a few on, but most of them are partial positions at this time, or it wouldn't, if the market heads south, it's not gonna be a big deal. So S&P, same thing, still hanging up here. We got a bullish price objective here. Look at Nasdaq, bullish price objective 2870, and we are up against this resistance level. If you can see, this is right through here. We have not been able to overcome this. We've been hanging around up here, right here between this 2500 2550 area. We've been up here before, and when we had a big sell-off, which doesn't mean it's going to happen this time, but it's just we are been at resistance here on the point and figure. Let's look at gold. So this is the continuous gold contract. So we actually are on a sell signal on gold right now, because we broke down right here, and it's not unusual for it to break down by one box and then just reverse, and it just nullifies the whole signal. It was just basically a bear trap for people to like short gold. So that's what it was. So we reversed into here. So we're still in here. So gold looks fine, but we are on a sell signal right now. Back to the 1250 area. So I doubt if any of us will be that lucky to go buy it, go load up the truck on gold again down at that level. But you never know. Silver is on a buy signal, $29 price objective. So we're not that many dollars away from it. And this is calculated by the point and figure chart, of course, not by me. And copper, again on a buy signal, $4.20. you know, 420 on here. Still on a buy signal, and of course we're stuck right here. We will not go on a sell signal on copper until we print one box lower than the prior column of O's. So we would need to get to this 368 to go on a sell signal on copper, which would be $3.68. So it's a little ways down. It's quite a few percent wise. It's a big move for copper to the downside to go on a sell signal. So we'll be watching that as well in the next week. All right, so that is it for today, and thanks for watching.